Hey, this is Massimo, and in this video I'm gonna talk about fixture definition editing. In version 4, there was a separated application to create and edit fixtures. Well, in version 5, the whole editing process has been integrated into the main application. This is particularly helpful on macOS, where QLC Plus no longer has an application launcher. It also makes it easier to edit existing definitions if something is wrong or missing. When you create a new fixture definition, you basically need one document to start filling the information, and this is usually called the MX chart. I have a few examples here. So for example, an Ayrton moving head with 65 channels. As you can see, every channel is defined as a 0 to 255 range. Those are the DMX values that the channel can have. And depending on the value, the functionality changes. Channels are mapped also in so-called modes, or in some other contexts they are named personalities. So you find different channel lists for different modes. For example, this fixture has a standard and an extended mode, but also you can find DMX charts like this. For example, this is from Robbie, and they always defined the range of values from 0 to 255. So you basically need to copy and paste exactly what is indicated in this sort of documents. To integrate usually some functionalities, they also define, for example, colors or gobo pictures to indicate that the fixture has different wheels, mechanical wheels inside. So to control these wheels, the position of these wheels, you have different values. For example, this is for colors, this is for gobos, and so on. So it really depends on how well the DMX chart is defined, but basically the principle is always the same. There is a channel list, and for each mode supported by the fixture. The mode is basically the mapping of the fixture on a universe, a DMX universe. So for example, if you configure this fixture with 4 channels mode, it will respond only to these 4 addresses, and the functionalities are the ones listed for each mode. So let's start seeing how to basically implement these DMX charts. QLC Plus delivers something like 1700 ready-made definitions, so the best way to start adding a new one is to learn from the existing ones. So for example, from the DMX charts we've seen before, this is the stair wheel. This is the stair wheel BSW 350 LEDs, and it's a moving head that looks like this. And in QLC Plus, we have it. So if I search for it and select it, you will see that it has 32 channels or 26 channels defined, exactly as stated in the DMX chart. So you have 26 channel modes or 32 channel modes somewhere down here. There you go. How can you access the fixture definition editing from within QLC Plus? Well, basically you have these 2 little buttons here. They are accessible from the fixture browser. One is to create a new fixture definition, and one is to edit the selected fixture definition. So let's start by seeing how an existing definition is made. So if I hit on edit, I will have this warning because I am trying to edit a bundle fixture definition. You should usually don't do that unless you find something wrong or you need to customize an existing definition. But basically what QLC Plus is saying is that if you modify and save it, a new file will be stored in the user fixture definition folder, and this new definition will override the bundled one. So be careful when you do this operation, because your changes will override the validated definition bundled within QLC+. So I'm gonna hit OK. So this is basically the fixture definition. It is divided in sections. So you have this basically 5 sections here, where the general section is basically the manufacturer and model type. The author is you, who created the fixture definition. And then, and very important, is the type of the definition, which can be one of these listed here. When it comes to 3D preview, please keep in mind that not everything can be simulated in 3D. For example, effects, fan, flowers, hazer, lasers are not supported yet. Basically, the 3D view supports LED bar in a pixel form, moving heads, scanner, and strobe, and color changer and dimmers. All the rest is very complicated to be simulated, also because on the market there are really fun products, and that varies in features and characteristics and so on. So it's very difficult to simulate them, but basically in the future they might be implemented somehow. So this is a moving head, so this is the one selected. Then very important also for the simulation and the preview is how the physical properties are mapped. So the physical properties is something that you can usually find into the DMX chart or user manual. At the end, usually there are the specifications. There you go. And here you have the physical dimension of the fixture. You have the for example, the optical range, optical properties, the pan and tilt rotation angles, and so on. So, and the power consumption and so on. So it's almost everything is listed here. And this is very important to be previewed. For example, if you specified invalid with height and depth parameters, the preview will be messed up. If you specified invalid pan and tilt degrees, you will not simulate properly your moving head, and so on. Layout is something used for basically LED bars or multi-emitters fixtures. So also this one is basically a layout is very important to be defined properly. If it is a single emitter light like this, one by one is okay. So you need to fill up all this information here, and then you have specified the basic properties of the fixture, the physical properties, the basic information of the fixtures. Then you can proceed to the actual channels. So channels is the basket of all the possible channels supported by the fixtures in every possible mode. So if you have different modes with different channels, you specify all of them here, and then when you define modes, you will basically drag and drop the channels on the mode they belong to. But basically you need to specify all the possible channels here and then drop them in their modes. Note that a channel can be used multiple times in different modes, but it cannot be used multiple times in the same mode. So for example, you can use zoom in 32 channel and 26 channel modes, but you cannot use zoom more than once in a single mode. Aliases is something that I won't talk about here because it's another quite complex topic. It will be treated later on, perhaps in a separated video. So for this video, I'm gonna stop here because this was basically the introduction to fixture editing. In the next video, we'll see actually how to create channels and edit channels, and then how to create modes and edit modes. Thanks for watching. Ciao!